Hello, Aquarians. I thought I would do a little reading for you today since almost all the planets in the whole universe are in your sign right now. Seems like it must be kind of exciting to be you, all the center of attention. Well, that's more of a Leo thing, isn't it? We just had that lone full moon over there in Leo, but Aquarius, you have, let's see, Venus, Mercury, Saturn, Jupiter, and the Sun are all over there in Aquarius, and Pluto's on its way. Mercury's just gone into retrograde over there. Something really important at 23 degrees Aquarius. So if you have that in your chart, I'm only passing on secondhand knowledge in astrology-wise yet. I'm learning. But basically what that entails for me is like, okay, what am I feeling? And have the astrologers predicted this feeling? And then there's larger historical events. For example, Coyote Star Astrology predicted that there would be some crazy money thing that went down because Mars and Uranus are in Taurus, which is a suit of the sign, I always want to say suit, associated with money. And sure enough, we had this really fun rebellion, which I had to really learn a lot with GameStop, as well as AMC, and Robin Hood. So if you haven't heard of all of that, I'd be amazed. But sometimes astrology is just surprisingly right on. They were right on about January 6th, the day of the insurrection as well. Anyway, I'm shuffling your cards, Aquarius, as I chit-chat at you. I just feel like the energy of Aquarius is be unabashedly yourself. I am Aquarius rising. My North Node is in Aquarius. So I have an affinity for Aquarius and its weirdness and its forwardness, and sometimes the feeling of being, a weirdo or an alien from another time in the future. Sometimes I feel that way, and sometimes I just think of that as being about my queerness. But one of the great things about doing these readings and then being a member of various social media environments is that I've been able to see all of the beloved Aquarians in my life. So this is for you, my friends, my family, my cousin. You are getting, as an overall feeling, depth and the lake. This is your oracle message for today. This is very much a sensation that I've been thinking about, of just that quietness there underneath the water. All of this vanishes when you go under the water, and it's just you and silence and maybe the sound of your heart beating. This card also makes me think of the moon, of the unknown, the unseen, right? You can see how the bottom of this castle is underneath the water. So there's a lot beneath the surface, unseen in this image. And yeah, let's see. Let me read a little bit about this for you from the book, number 31. I always think, sweet 16 turned 31. And a whole set of memories that take me back with that. So let's see. Number 31, lake, depth. Do not take the shallow alternative. Deep dive. Do the research. Do not cut corners. You may not be seeing the whole picture, so take your time with a decision. So do you have a decision to make, Aquarius? As Mercury goes into retrograde, we get a chance to basically revisit the thinking that we've had, perhaps, in coming to a decision. I'm just sort of skimming along over this. So we're in the water element, and you are the cupbearer, Aquarius, but an air sign. On the bottom of this deck, you get the oceans. Lots of water for you. Lots of emotional energy. So this is definitely about travel. Um, Oceans, I've had that before for Sag. I also see the child there walking on the globe, but there's a lot of emotional depth and encouragement to go into your emotions here. And that could have to do with the full moon being over there in Leo, which is of the heart, of the emotional realm. Because air signs like you, Aquarius, can sometimes be seen as cold at your, what they would call low vibe. Yeah, so this is bringing you into your heart. Leo is bringing all of us into our hearts with this full moon. And I was given to understand that if you think back to mid-August, around the 18th, 19th of August, when there was the opposite of a full moon, a new moon in Leo, that something began there, and then, so you can see that maybe coming to fruition here. What this caused me to realize is that was when I started this channel back then. So here I am 6 months later. You know, I've figured out it's not going to be where I'm famous, but it is a place where I can connect and where real channeling happens. And so whoever comes to these, the message is for you. And very few people come to this, so you can kind of feel like, hey, this is for me. So if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, you know, it's not happening. No need to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to start with the Guardian of the Night, and we will pull 4 cards. I feel like using 3 decks today. We'll see how that works. I don't normally do that. So we're going to just go with the intuition here. So in your release, Aquarius, you get the Chariot. This is fast momentum. So maybe you were being told to slow down right now. We'll see. But here we have, gosh, it's the Honey Badger is the Chariot. And I always get the Wolverine that is the Knight of Wands mixed up with the Honey Badger. Yeah, so the Chariot in this book is the Honey Badger, and you're supposed to leave this behind. I don't know if I can find it in here real quickly. Yeah, do you remember all those Honey Badger memes going around? When it came time to create the Chariot, those memes came to my mind instantly. The Honey Badger doesn't quit. It takes what it wants, and it does so without giving a damn. So you're supposed to release this energy. The Honey Badger brings an energy that is of brute force, of pure determination. The Honey Badger rushes in without a single care in the world. And right now you might benefit from adding a little of its energy to your situation. Except in this position, this Honey Badger, really notice the chickens that the Honey Badger is hanging out with here. They're very, yeah, it makes me think of a dog I know, Honeybee, who has chickens. Anyway, the chickens seem safe with this Honey Badger. But you're supposed to release that kind of determination and just taking whatever you want. We'll find out more. You are supposed to embrace an Ace of Cups. This is, again, there's an emphasis in this reading already on your heart, on water, and your emotions. This is a new emotional offer. And it can be in any realm. It doesn't have to be a romantic offer. It could be familial. Yeah. Okay. You ought to become aware, this is your hidden influence, that there is a 4 of Pentacles. This is about control. Like this fox is so afraid of losing all the bunny rabbits that he's obsessed, or she's obsessed with hoarding them. So this could be an energy that you have going on with you that you're not acknowledging. And you can see there's another little bunny rabbit out there under the moon for the fox to go hunt. But it's trapped in its den, hoarding those just 4 pentacles. So my dog wants to bark, so if that happens, pardon. And the future Cool. For you, the future is the magician. This is you with all the tools, able to manifest the world that you want for yourself. I think we need to see very clearly that there's a beginning here. You might begin with the heart, with the cups, with the emotional realm. And the cup is one of the 4 tools. Here we have a wand, a pentacle, and a sword, as well as a cup. Wands representing willpower and passion. Pentacles, earthy, security, 3D, money. And the sword would be truth, the philosophy, ideas. And so the magician has all these tools, and in the future you will become aware of that. So in advising you to move away from or release the Chariot, this could be Cancer, someone that you know who's a Cancer. There's a new beginning coming in. It's again, I don't get a feeling that this is a love story yet, but there's definitely a decision that you have to dive deep into your emotions and know how you feel in order to get there. And since this oceans is on the bottom, which is so much about travel, specifically ocean travel, I feel like that's what you just need to kind of pause. Like maybe you've been wanting to go on a trip and you just have this urgency about going on that trip, but there's something that you need to do first here. So let's find out more about that. Okay, we're gonna pull. I just feel like I want to pull another card here from the Light Seers Tarot. I just felt like I wanted all of the stars and magic, my decks that have the most gold and stars and magic in them for you, Aquarius. I also see 3 full moons and a waxing or waning moon here. So we'll see what else comes up. Okay, in your release, you get the King of Swords with the Chariot. Okay, so this is perhaps a set of ideas that you've been defending ruthlessly. The King of Swords is your card, Aquarius, because your sign is fixed. You get the Kings, and he is the king of the air signs, and you are the most mature, the oldest of the air signs. So the real philosopher and the real forward thinker. So right now you're being told really to release the way that you see yourself. Yeah. And this makes total sense from what I've been understanding about what's happening astrologically, that there is a need for all of us actually to relook at who we are, what our priorities are. But you're definitely being told to release this really powerful sense of who you are, and instead embrace a new beginning. Maybe you're beginning something that's much more emotional and less of air and more of water. And I think because Aquarius is the water bearer, that there is water also in your card, the star, and that cup. This is the cup bearer. This is your job, is to hold this emotion, this water. And and Aquarius was a youth that was brought to Mount Olympus, who was a beautiful youth named Ganymede. I named my dog after him. And he got bored of being a cupbearer. Aquarians like new stuff. And so the gods made him into a constellation in the sky. But this is something to do with your purpose. And let's find out. Let's see. What else? So with this embrace, there is not an ending. This is a heartbreak. This is a painful loss. And somehow you're supposed to embrace that. I think you have some emotional work to do, Aquarius, that maybe you have been avoiding pretty effectively by being busy like the Chariot and being up in your head like the King of Swords. And now there's all this water, pausing, starting new, facing what looks to be some anguish. Really painful looking card there. A broken heart of some kind. All right, so hidden influences, this Four of Pentacles, and this is a part of where I'm getting this interpretation that you've been avoiding this, maybe using control instead of focusing on just a practical money, security, maybe quite intense control stuff that you're dealing with. I don't really think of Aquarius as being controlling, but if you're avoiding feeling this Three of Swords so that you can get back into your true purpose, this Ace of Cups, which is definitely a heart purpose here. Your heart is broken, and so it's very hard to go into these emotions. And this reading is recommending that you do that. You go in, go deep, feel what you need to feel, see what's under the surface, and then you get to be the magician. We'll see what else. So with the Four of Pentacles, our little foxy, just in case I forgot to show that to you, you receive the Nine of Pentacles. So this is you very content on your own, very self-sufficient, just happily taking your own counsel, definitely in the practical 3D realm, or this is somebody around you. It's a situation that is dealing with work. I always think of this Nine of Pentacles as an incredibly attractive person because they know who they are. They don't really care what anybody else thinks. And I associate that with an Aquarius person, just unabashedly yourself. You can often see this in Aquarius fashion. Tend to be edgy, forward thinking. And so that confidence of the Nine of Pentacles seems very Aquarian to me right now. That you don't really need to know or care what other people think. But that's an energy around you, so it's not necessarily you. And then the future, we're gonna have to pull more cards on this, and we will, because that's why I needed a third deck. Okay, we'll just see. Let's be nosy. If you want to stick with me here, Aquarius. So the Magician, you also receive in your future the Hermit. This looks like a very powerful ability to go inward and come to an understanding that with the Magician. So this work you've done of going in and dealing with this pain causes you to become this powerful manifestor, the Magician, and the Hermit reaffirms that inward journey that you needed to do, gives you a powerful capacity. I mean, this person is levitating off the earth there. Okay, let's clarify. Whew, Rush, I'm getting a heat flash. Is that you? You never know. At my age, you just, you burn up sometimes. I like it. It feels like having a superpower. Sometimes when I do readings, though, heat will come, chills will come. But I'm not seeing a lot of wands here. So that would be, if we see wands. Okay, all right, enough of my hot flash. So we're clarifying the Chariot and the King of Swords with Justice. Jeez, all right. I'll explain. The Ten of Cups and the Stars. That's your card. Yeah, it's so wild here. Your sword, your truth, and your sense of who you are is coming up in several ways as something that you need to release. It suggests, so this is Justice, and she has both the sword of truth, which you also have, and the King of Swords here. That's a very righteous feeling that you've been in. Like you need to release. It's so very clear, like you get yourself twice. So here's the stars. This is the other card of Aquarius. And there's one other that I can think of. But these two, the King of Swords and the stars, and your release. And also we get this kind of that you've reached a 10 in emotional fulfillment. This looks like a really sweet slumber party with all of these girls. They stayed up all night drinking or talking and having a lot of fun, and now they've passed out. So the 10 is a completion of a cycle that may be coming to an end. It's just complete emotional fulfillment. The star is wish fulfillment, and Justice is with the Chariot and the King of Swords. Like this, you've achieved something already, and you know, with every achievement, once you complete a cycle, then you have to move on. And there's a new beginning here, but it involves you going through and dealing with this broken heart here, which I don't really know what this broken heart's about yet. Maybe we'll find out. I wouldn't want to release what I see here in your release. This would be like a very high point, like total wish fulfillment, the king, all this momentum, all this confidence, this righteousness, and this emotional connection, this community and everything that, this is a beautiful achievement that you're being asked to release, Aquarius. It's a very powerful place that these cards are saying, it's time to let go of that. It's time to do something new. And there's grief with that. And that makes total sense to give up something that you've loved. This status and the certainty that you're of knowledge that comes with the King of Swords, that philosopher king. So, okay, so let's look at what you're supposed to embrace. This Ace of Cups, Three of Swords. There's loss, and you're supposed to embrace it. Even a betrayal, maybe. But let's find out. Let's see. Why would you even want this? Okay, so you get the Eight of Cups. It suggests lack of fulfillment. The Knave of Pentacles, a new idea. And the Two of Cups, like a new partnership. So this is your embrace. And I'll say again, like, I love getting an Ace of Cups. I love a new beginning. I love that it's an emotional new beginning. You get the Ace and the Two of Cups. This is a new love. Sometimes I also see this as justice. And that's kind of what I feel like as I'm doing this. This is really a bigger vision for you, Aquarius, because of your humanitarian tendencies to see outside of yourself, and with all of these planets over there, you're really looking at this new age of Aquarius, this new beginning, and we've got that revolutionary impulse that's coming in the square with what's over there in Taurus, which is Uranus, the rebel planet, fired up by Mars, and then kind of like really solidified into a plan in Taurus. So there's a revolution happening here. And so we get this sense that there's a new beginning. And it definitely, the embrace of this new beginning comes from that even though what we're releasing, what we looked at, it just so magnificent and you you're unfulfilled in some way. There's something unfulfilling about how you've been living, even though it feels so you. And that's what this card is about. The Eight of Cups says, yeah, I've got 8 cups and I just feel so strongly the one that is missing. And of course, the one that is missing is right here. It's a new beginning for it. It's a new beginning. We also get that with the Knave of Cups, a very practical new beginning. So perhaps somebody is bringing this to you. And it leads to a partnership of equals. I always find this particular Two of Cups to be more clingy than I like. But then that sweetness, that passion of a new love is also, you just want to be physically wrapped up in one another. But as I've said, like, whether you relate to that real personal, intimate story of, some emotional ending followed by an emotional beginning that comes with a broken heart. Here, this Three of Swords. This is something that you have to embrace. The feelings of loss, of change. This is a dark place. And I'll tell you, as a Scorpio, going into the lake, into the water, into the feelings, into the depths of the unknown, and grappling with this grief, with this darkness, this dark night of the soul. It is a worthy hero's journey to go on. The cards say you are going to elevate from King of Swords to Magician. Yeah. So let's see. Hidden influence, and this may be what's keeping you from shifting. Or maybe this is what's causing you to need to shift, is this Four of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. Let's see. What's going on beneath your surface, my friend? Okay, we see more of the moon. So this is the moon card, and you may see what I mean about how the lake depth and the moon are very similar. So it's such a beautiful moon. Very watery place, very much a place of unknowing, of things that happen in your sleep. And so sometimes you can intuitively know in your sleep, but this is the unknown. Also, the Lovers. There she is. You've got the Two of Cups as this embrace, and the Lovers. Now, the Lovers can be a choice, and it can be true love, a mature true love. In the Lovers, in the love of the Lovers, this is a divine and spiritual connection, and it is a love in which you get to be 100% yourself, and in which you appreciate your person 100% for who they are. There's none of this, well, you just need to change this and then I'll love you. This is for you, that they get you and you get them. But this card also can mean a decision. And this is in your hidden influence. The Moon, which just epitomizes hidden. And the Lovers, a choice, as well as a... Okay, so with the Nine of Wands, our third clarifier here of your hidden influence, oh, you can really see so much reflected in this card. I'm really enjoying looking at that. You can see my kitchen. I should have done my dishes before I did this reading. There's my dirty table. Cluttery table, not dirty. Just have a lot of work going on. Anyway, sorry. Nine of Wands. This is a card of exhaustion, of having worked really hard and needing you're not quite to the putting down your burden state. You're actually in the determination to finish, to get to the 10 of Wands, whether if it kills you. So you have 2 nines here in this hidden influence. These are the 8 of Cups plus the Ace of Cups. There's 9 cups. Then you get the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. This is just that you're coming into finishing. Remember, in the release, you get the Ten of Cups. So this may be that you have not yet realized that this change is coming in. You're finishing, you're not done. And but you're tired. And you feel you're trying to, I'm seeing this Nine of Pentacles, like she's above the surface. She's in contrast. She's just like doing her job and taking care of her home. So this is the homebody loner card. This happy, solitary person takes her own counsel, or his, it doesn't matter gender-wise. So she's just like above all of this underlying stuff. Like here's the fox obsessing and controlling. And then this is the depths, emotional mystery there of the moon, this decision of the lovers, and this exhaustion and determination of the Nine of Wands. So if the lovers are sitting here between the two, there's a decision between liberty, which is a liberty that is in the unknown and being comfortable with that, and control and determination and trudging along with hard work in the practical material realm. The Nine of Wands, wands are that card, the card of fire, of willpower. So there's a decision. I see a decision here between a really successful life you're being suggested you should release, and this new start for greater fulfillment and more equality. And the thing is, the choice of what you got to embrace, what these cards say embrace, it's hidden by the moon, and it's going to require you to go in and do this, grapple with this, whatever that is. The thing in you that keeps you busy, because you're like, no, if I stop, I'm going to feel that. I'm going to know that. Like, because this is the overall release, this momentum. So you might be keeping busy. Nine of Pentacles also suggests that. Four of Pentacles does. You might be staying really busy in work to avoid this inner work. But it's exhausting you. You're still determined to do it, but you're tired. Like, you just want to take a nap. That's what I see there. Another nap. Visually, these cards say, I want to rest in the arms of my sweetheart, or just take a nice dreamy nap. I want to jump in a lake and let all the world go and just listen to my heart pounding under the water in that silence, as long as I can hold my breath. That's an impulse in you that you can become aware of. That's beneath the surface of your busyness, of your chariot energy, of you like fully being in control and comfortable in what you know. Beneath that is something that you can know. It will be a part of greater fulfillment, a really practical new beginning, and an emotionally satisfying new beginning. One perhaps that is about social justice, or one that is like very personal and very intimate, depending on who you are. Future, we have the Magician and the Hermit, the manifester of the Magician and the Hermit, that person that goes inward. The Hermit is Virgo. So we've got Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius, you're here a lot. Cancer, here. Okay, this one wants to say something. So the future is a Three of Cups. So this is a card of friendship and reconciliation. Peace, perhaps. World peace. The Fool, the new beginning, which is a strange Fool card. But if you just think of just how risky and it is to leap out and to do something new, and you just feel absolutely naked and skinny, and you can people might be like, "You idiot, what are you doing?" And you're like, "I don't know." Like, this person's definitely struggling with the I cut my hair, so I have got all kinds of little silver hair everywhere. This person's definitely a little bit overwrought as the Fool. And so it's cool, like, the Fool is so often like a young person in the tarot, but this one's like a mature person. You know, that just made me think of, like, to start new when you're being told to release, like, you, who you are, and to start new. It's a powerful you. It's this magician hermit, but it feels crazy. It's coming with good company, good friendship here. This is your Three of Cups. There might be some kind of reconciliation in the future if there's a break in that is behind this painful thing that you're supposed to feel and know and work through, so that you can get into this powerful new beginning. And thirdly, get the Five of Pentacles here. Five of Pentacles is actually a sense of impoverishment in the future. It really feels like, Aquarius, you're being directed to go on a spiritual journey. And it's not going to be that comfortable. But it's going to give you power. And it's going to give you magical power to manifest and deep knowing wisdom. Which is, you're already wise. You're already this philosopher king. But you're being invited on a hero's journey into the unknown. And the part of you that is unfulfilled is the part that you need to become aware of. The part of you that's tired, wants to be done. Even though you've achieved it, you're like, someone from the outside might be like, "What are you doing? You have everything." But you're being called on a journey here, and it's not an easy one. I mean, it's not a terrible one. There's friendship, there's love, there's magical power. It's very practical, and it's very emotionally fulfilling. So you're going to make something. That's what I think. I think that because of this little Knave of Pentacles. He's got this little idea. It's very practical. Yeah. But the Five of Pentacles tells me that there's something hard. There's real or imagined poverty. Usually the Five of Pentacles just imagine poverty. Like the Five of Pentacles, there's always a key to open the door. Remember, this Four of Pentacles of your hidden influence is, I'm hoarding this. When you get to the next stage of a Five of Pentacles, fives are uncomfortable. They're passageways, according to Jodorowsky. To think of a five as like, it's so uncomfortable, what you do is you shift your perspective. So if you feel like, oh, I only have 5 pentacles, so that then you're called to go to notice and to get into the 6 of Pentacles of like, oh my gosh, I have so much, I can just give it away. The 6 of Pentacles, the next step is basically shifting into gratitude and generosity. But we can see from this Fool as well, like there is some kind of difficulty. It feels foolish. to start off on this new journey. But the promise here is, should you choose this journey, it will lead you into another level of power, community, a new beginning, and you'll move out of that Five of Pentacles if that's a part of that future. But it's interesting, sometimes when you get cards that give you advice that tell you to, hey, you have everything, but it's time to leave that. And I don't mean leave your job. There's not really a quit your job story here. There's not a quit your partner here. It may be that you need to work something out within your relationship so that you can have this intimacy and this equality and the acceptance of the lovers here. That may be the work that you need to do if you're in a relationship. The Ten of Cups in your release suggests that you have a family, you have you've achieved the ideal, whatever that is for you, in the love and the cups, the feelings. But you are being told to deal with something that you've put off dealing with in order to build this kingdom. And it's just under the surface. And I'm going to guess it's preventing you from fulfillment. And it may be that nothing in your life changes except your perspective. But this is also very revolutionary. It's going to feel like a radical change. And the underlying card to support that is the Tower. It's going to feel like your world ended and there's a new beginning. Yes. So, it's an emotional beginning. There's the Knight of Cups, death here. Also, I keep seeing this in the cards that I'm looking at. There's clearly we're ending something. In all of our collectives, something's coming to an end. And we're being encouraged to go deep, to go dark, to face it, to transform it, and to begin something new, even though we might be clinging to our pentacles and to our security and even our sense of identity. For me, since I'm Aquarius ascendant, that's my first house. That's where my very identity lies. So I feel very clear in my journey that I'm looking at who I am today, like on a whole personal to collective level. Who am I? What can I bring to the world? In order to know that, I need to go in and know myself, feel my pain, and accept this new cup, this new beginning, this Ace of Cups here. It's a very beautiful new beginning under the full moon. And I see here the sacred mountain, the lotus. Is that the lotus blossom? There's all these feathers, which make me think of the truth, but also of softness and gentleness. And there's a moth. There's a moth at that moon, the moth that hits itself against the porch light over and over and over, thinking that is the moon. This is the moth discovering the actual moon. So it's a beautiful new beginning for you to embrace, not without heartache, but to your greatest satisfaction. You just need to choose to go in and take this moon nap, go under the water, go down into the lake. So we got this oceans here. This is clearly a spiritual journey. You may not need to go anywhere. Maybe you do go somewhere. Hermit suggests it's a spiritual journey. All right, well, I hope that gives you something to think about and consider embracing this hero's journey. Because the Tower and Death came up on the bottom of the deck, sometimes that means that like the next time we do a reading, they'll be in the cards on the table. And when you choose not to do the inevitable, the universe will make it happen for you. So I think right now you're in a position where you're being offered like the chance. Like, what do you think? How about this? How about we go on the spiritual journey and transform you or transform the world towards greater equality, greater authenticity. And it would appear love and friendship and power. Let me know. All right. Have a great day.